Hello, everybody. It is me, Excusey, and today we're here talking about The Rising of the Shield Hero Episode 6. Okay, so I've only watched the first 12 minutes of this episode, and all I gotta say is just, wow. Totally just a slice of life, just dull moment anime for the first 12 minutes of this episode until maybe things get interesting. And things happen in between. Like, there's even like a montage section that are where chapters in the manga just shortened a little bit. Like, at the beginning we saw the scene where Lo, Nafumi, and Raftalia went to the blacksmith guy to get Philo some clothes, but then he said that he's not able to give her clothes, and then he like made food for himself, and he's like humming to himself, ready to like eat it. But then Philo says, "Can I eat it?" And then the blacksmith's just like, "Sure," and then she just gulps it down. Okay, now this is a difference because I don't know if that's how it was in like the light novel or web novel or something like that, but in the manga, she actually rushes into the store before Nafumi and Raftalia get there. She goes into his kitchen and then eats all of his food, and then she ends up having like a sore stomach, like in her bird form, because she went in there in her bird form, and then like Nafumi like goes at her and then yells at her for eating his food, even though that the blacksmith is sort of okay with it. He's sort of like bad because all of his ingredients are gone. But then he like forces her to turn into a human. Like he even uses his like how you're able to force slaves to like with like the purple lightning around them and force them to do stuff. He forces her to turn into a human, and then she turns into a human and gets like an even bigger stomachache because she ate so much food in her bird form. So then her bird form got condensed into a human form, and then she just ended up like knocking herself out. I think that would have been a lot funnier instead of the scene that we got where she just gulped it down and says, "Oh, this tastes okay." And then after that, we saw how they just went on to a journey to give Philo like clothes, just give her clothes. I think that if you saw the opening song, you saw her in a white dress. So I guess we're gonna see her in the white dress. I think that in the manga, them getting that white dress was like one chapter, but instead they're gonna like fill it over like a whole bunch of episodes, which is weird when they could just get it right away if they wanted to. I don't even remember even them. I think I remember them going on a journey and them getting like I think I remember him like getting like the name of what he was doing earlier because after they were trying to they had to like go around and get supplies and stuff like that and help out the witch lady and stuff like that and get some magic thread in order to have it so that way he can use magic to do it. And so then he went on a journey in his carriage with Philo and Ratalia to go around and help people out and trade things because he did say. And I think in the last episode, or 2 episodes ago, that he was going to become a trade market guy with his carriage. So then he was selling stuff, getting stuff from people. You could see that he was even able to heal people. It was kind of cool how he like looked at like there's like a guy that he saved to in order to save his mom from with medicine, and then he looks at the guy's medicine and is like, this won't work. And he uses his like shield magic to make the medicine even better because he did like practice with medicine like a few episodes back. So same thing with the old man that he met in that medical shop, and then he heals the lady. He also heals like an old man. And then like people call him like the savior of something. I think that in the manga it was it was called something else. Like they like that whole entire like phrase that he got. I honestly forgot what it was. I could check it out maybe. Then after that, as he's trying to travel with like a merchant guy, they're like traveling around and they end up fighting a bunch of thugs. Now this thing, I don't remember this happening in the manga whatsoever. This is just either anime original or light novel stuff happened. And then they're like going to attack him, but then he's just like, should I use my shield to attack them? But then Raftalia and Philo just say we can do it. And then we finally saw Raftalia use her illusion magic. I was wondering when she was going to use that because I know that in the manga she never ever uses illusion magic like whatsoever from my knowledge if I remember correctly. And unless it probably happens maybe in the light novel and web novel a lot, but it was cool seeing her actually use it, and then she turns invisible and then attacks them with her sword, and then Philo summons a tornado. That's another tornado power. And then after that they end up defeating all of the guys, and the guys say that because the shield hero is the one that captured the thugs, they're just like, "We'll bad talk you and say that you tortured us," or something like that. And he's just like, "Well, I guess that I'm not gonna send you to the royal guards. I guess I'll just kill you." And then they just start crying like babies. They just don't want to die. They want to beg for their lives. I'm wondering what he's gonna do to them, which is probably like the other like portion of this episode. But it was pretty just chill moment to this. It was also funny seeing stuff in the montage and stuff like that. But other than that, that's all there really is to talk about for the first 12 minutes. I guess I'll be back in a few minutes to review the rest of this episode. Okay, I am back. And one thing I forgot to mention was the whole like father-daughter like thing that was going on earlier in the episode where like Philo's just like, "Are you my father?" And he's like, "No, I'm your owner." And then I think that was either the clothing lady or I think Philo that asked, "What about Raftalia?" And he's just like, "She's like a daughter to me." And she's just like, "What?" What? That's pretty funny. It's also funny how before when the episode was ending, when they did everything, like like it's kind of weird seeing how like that clothing lady is like the basic stereotype of that personality, like the late like girls with glasses that are very energetic. She's like that stereotype. Like I've like when I see that character, I can see so many other characters from so many other animes, especially the way that she acts. It's kind of funny how she calls Naofumi father. She's like trying to mimic like Philo for some reason, which is pretty funny and amazing to see in this episode. But in this episode, what he did with the bandits, he took the bandits with him to their camp and then stole all of the treasure that they stole from other travelers, which is kind of funny how he used like Philo as a Philo queen because apparently she's like the highest level of the Philo something monsters, and then after that she's also using Raftalia as like guards while he's taking all their treasure, and then he took all the treasure and then he left, and apparently I remember this from the manga, but that merchant guy teaches him gemstoning. I think that in the manga they don't even mention that guy. I think. Remember, I think, and I think that in the manga it was mentioned that he did it on his own. Like he learned how to make trinkets and stuff like that on his own. That looked really awesome. But I guess he learned from the merchant. He also like the merchant says that he likes him, so then he teaches him about the merchant network. Like shows him a whole bunch of people, gets him to meet people, and then he sends them off to where to get the gemstone to make the magic thread for Philo's clothing. I like how they they made the clothing like I think the clothing they made the clothing in the manga one chapter, and in the anime they made it a whole episode. Like one chapter equals one episode. I think there was multiple chapters into one episode, but it was cool seeing how they made her clothing the overall story of the episode. So then he ended up going with her to like go to a cave, and this stuff I remember. I remember them going to a cave where they were in this where they even took the witch with them, and then they were in the cave. I think I remember this, and then they like heard voices. They had like illusionary voices, and I kind of funny how the illusion voices are like talking down. You hear the voices of like people that you love, saying hurtful things towards you, things that you wouldn't want to hear. So then they all like 'cause you can see Naofumi is getting PTSD when he starts hearing how Raftalia was gonna hurt him. The witch knows what's going on, and apparently she like uses her magic to dispel the enchantment. And there's a whole bunch of like bats that can like do this. That's kind of a weird ability for bats to have. So then they end up defeating them, and then once they defeat them, I think it was Philo that used her wind to defeat them. And then you see Naofumi just grab one of the like the remnants of the bats and puts it into his shield, and then he ends up getting a building. He's just like, this isn't that useful. Like every single time that he puts like a whole bunch of random stuff in his shield, he's just like, I don't know if this is useful. And then if it's useful, he's like, I think this is useful. Like that's such a weird comments to make when like any situation anything can be useful, especially in this episode where I get how they enter the cave, they find all the magic gemstones to make the magic thread, and they see a Nue, they see a lion snake. Like I didn't think it was flying. I don't think it had wings because that would make it a chimera, right? If it had wings. And then after that, they see it just laying down there, and I like it how it's super funny. Like even in my head, I like even blurted it. I even blurted it out during the episode where Raftalia and like I like it how Nafumi's just like, how should we attack this? And then Raftalia and Philo just run right into battle. Then I like laugh so hard as soon as when like Raftalia went in to attack it, and then it woke up and then kicked her. Like just kicked Raftalia right away, kicked her to the ground. Like I was just like, oh, such a dumb like such a dumb girl. Like wow. And then I really enjoyed that battle. That battle was kind of epic and cool, especially seeing how they ended up getting a rhythm going on. They found out what the new A was capable of, and then they were able to use it against them. Before that, Nafumi almost got electrocuted by it. I kind of funny how the new A was able to use like lightning attacks and able to like have like an area effect going on. So then Nafumi uses his bat thing. And then I think I remember this from the manga. He like asks Philo to yell into the bat thing to have like a very large sonic blast because that does seem like something that you could see bats use. And then after that, he Philo yells into it, asks then Nafumi asks Raftalia and the witch to cover their ears, and then it like you see like its ears like blood pop out of the Nue's ears, and he's like bleeding. And then you saw how you see Raftalia stabs it right in the gut, and then it bleeds all over and dies. And then Philo comes in, jumps in the air, smashes the new way's face in. Like the bones in his head just crushed, just exploded. I was just like, damn, damn, that is that is one strong kick. Like no wonder she's like the highest like evolution of her bird form. Like damn, that kick is insane. Like just imagine that she was using her full strike against Spear Hero, or else he wouldn't be producing kids anytime soon from last episode. And then after that, they ended up getting the magic thread, and then they went on to the clothing lady. Then they got the clothing, and then they got her clothing from the opening song. Philo got her white and blue dress, which looks very cute and adorable. And then she even like asks Apparently, I honestly thought that Nafumi was on that threaded it, but then you saw how when they went to the witch with the thread to get the thread to make the clothing, like Philo had to do it herself in her human form. She had to like put her magic into the thread as she's threading it into like threads and balls and stuff like that to give to the clothing lady, and then the clothing lady ends up giving it to her, and then she's able to like transform with it as a demonstration during the episode. After that, they were just calling each other fathers, and then you saw the clothing lady's personality, like you mentioned before. And this episode was pretty good. The music and stuff like that was on point. The animation is still on point. I really enjoyed the fight and the adventures that were going on in the montages and stuff like that. But yeah, I honestly can't wait until next episode. We also saw how they mentioned the bow hero, sword hero, and spear hero. Apparently, the spear hero ended up saving a whole entire town or village, giving them like a magical crop. The sword hero ended up defeating a dragon. I remember that dragon. I don't know if that's gonna happen next episode, episode 7 or 8, but that's gonna be a very, very interesting turn of events, if you know what I'm saying. Because I think I remember what goes on during that in the manga. I think because it's been a while, and my memory is fading from that. Because it's been like a month now since I've read the manga. Because I read the manga after before episode 2. We're on episode 6 now, so it's been a few weeks. And then we saw how apparently the bow hero is very mysterious. There's like a whole bunch of things going on. I think I remember why he's so mysterious in the manga about why people have different versions of stories when they're trying to introduce him and stuff like that. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. So yeah, if you enjoyed this review slash my discussion and my thoughts on this episode, then leave a like. If you didn't enjoy this whatsoever, then leave a dislike. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week in the next review. And yeah, bye.